Hey everybody, it's Bust, and today we're doing Battle in the Path of Champions. And so this should be our last video of battling Samira. We got a little bit of a break from the Samira battles in the last one, running the Diana adventure, but man, I've been having quite a bit of fun with both the draft event and this action Samira run as well. It's been very interesting, very fun to play, and so glad to get another one out here. And so with this event, we have just both Bilgewater and Freywillard left. We're going to come in and play the Bilgewater piece, try and finish this off with Nilah. And so I missed the grand old days of having, super aggro Nilah decks. Maybe we can reassemble something like that today, but she's much more value oriented out here in Path. If you're not familiar with her kit, she gets the +1 starting mana. Whenever you discard a card, you put a copy of it in your deck, and then you get the pull shark ability the next turn. You draw a fleeting card at round start. Her big value oriented kind of thing, though, is each round you copy the first 2 fleeting units or spells that you play. And so the idea is that you play a Slipstream, you draw the 2 fleeting cards, and then when you play the fleeting cards, you get an extra copy of each of them. And so you do get a bunch of value out of, say, things like Pull Shark, which just draws fleeting cards on their own, but it's mainly tied in to being a Slipstream thing, I guess you should say. Yeah, the Slipstream thing is what we're doing here today. And so Nilah has big value, and then the turtle elusive guy. It's been too long. We're still getting back on the bike as far as remembering what things do after a year. But as far as her relics, you could look towards something aggressive is what I prefer. Something with discard, something with fleeting are all fine. But we're just trying to level her up at this point. I like to use these gain 10x exp until they get to about level 30 or so. And so we're trying to get her ramped up as we go. But that's the champion. Let's see if we can't get a good old adventure going out here. See if we can't find a fun friend to do some battles with. I'm excited. Hope you are too. Let's see what's up. Not certain how this will start. I just I started a run and picked up an Ezreal and then got a the skill still +2 damage skill. And I thought it was just like skills and spells, and it wasn't. And so I just got mad and quit. And so we're starting over again with this one here. I can't remember if they ever took off the thing to where your first node or your first skill thing is limited if you quit a run. But we'll see if that comes into play. I can't exactly remember how that works. But here at the start, nothing too on theme. Vhagar, Morgana want to be like, control decky kind of things. Diana, it's easy enough to pick up Nightfall stuff, but this is really like just Diana, right? I don't want the Priestess or the Cygnus, so let's take a roll. After that, I'm a little interested in each of these, right? The Fiora does do a lot of combat-oriented stuff. Here's the interesting thing with Fiora, right? The anti-up ability, the -2 cost and fleeting, and so we should just get copies of Fiora whenever we play her, right? That's not a bad thing to be doing, her abilities don't really combo together, but the other interesting thing with Fiora is just the makeup of this event to where when you play a 5-attack unit, it auto-attacks and then gains can't block. And so if we're able to strengthen up Fiora a little bit or get her some more barriers, the OTK stuff should be right on the table. And so, yeah, that Fiora seems pretty interesting to me. Otherwise, Sivir is fine. She's a good game closer. Tristana in the same boat. Tristana a little bit more challenging since we're not in a faction that naturally has overwhelms, to really take advantage of that big attack power. But, yeah, I think I'm on board with this Fiora. She has the synergies with Nilah. She has the synergies with the game mechanics. The only downside here is Demacia doesn't really tie in with Fiora, with Nilah otherwise, right? There's no discard cards, there's no other fleeting stuff, and so that kind of sucks. Bilgewater doesn't have any combat tricks to tie in with Fiora, and so it's not a great combo probably in the deck builder, but we'll just have to see if we can't work around that, because I think the Fiora is probably powerful enough on her own. And so, yeah, we got the weaker thing, but I mean, flexible game plan is still just one of the best all-around skills there is. It's not a real highlight reel one, right? It's not like getting some kind of legendary, but Game Start Draw 2 is a very powerful start. There were a lot of events to where we recommended just starting and then immediately quitting and coming back in for the Draw 2, and so it's not, completely terrible. All right, so let's go. What do we got to be doing here? Not super interested in any of these. Like, we could look towards Misfortune, but then just quickly becomes like the Misfortune Scouts show, and I don't think that's really what we're trying to do. That's kind of half-assing things here, right? If we're trying to do Nilah stuff with some of the card draw and the discards, and if we're trying to do Fiora stuff with the combats, and then now we're going to try and do like Scout stuff, it's all just a little bit too much, and so I'm going to skip past that here. Let's take a roll, see if anything turns up. And interesting stuff here, single combat with the Titanic is pretty strong, gives us a way to take more advantage of the Fiora, and then Nilah is, you know, pretty sizable compared to a lot of early game units, and so I think this will be okay. I'm not certain how the draft mode works mechanically. If we, you know, when you are drafting like kind of expedition, it would help curate the pools that turn up, and so as we kind of picked this combat-oriented Fiora kind of stuff, we would be more likely to see like Fiora pools and Demacia pools. Not certain how that works out here within this set of mechanics, but the single combat will be good even outside of those kind of things. Here, Make It Rain seems fine. Double damage, so it does 2 to all the targets is okay. It's probably worth the 3 mana. We are going to see a lot of like Trifarian style units, which should be decent at taking down. Otherwise, these units are all garbage. Up next after that, the Darken Harpoon, kind of interesting, right? In that has that round start, draw something fleeting, or attack, then you draw something fleeting. That does work with the Nilah. I guess the Insightful Investigator has a bit of that action too, huh? When you play a 2-cost card, draw fleeting. It's a little, well, it is a bigger unit, right? It has the Colossal Hammer, so it's a 6/5. It's just the problem I've always run into with Insightful Investigator is like it's a card that what you want to do is like play the Investigator and then immediately start churning off with it, but being a unit, it's very easy for it to get killed, and you typically have to wait until the next turn, to where the Darken Harpoon is just always good. And then getting Ibaros on the board's not terrible, right? Having this kind of backdoor giant unit. So yeah, let's take the Harpoon. I'm on board with that. Even having the portal on it has some synergies with things like Slipstream, and so I think that'll be okay. All right, next set. Nothing too great here. I don't hate the idea of having a Titanic Swiftwing Lancer, right? It's going to be an 8/8 for 6 that we can then make cheaper with these single combats. It's probably just good enough to not want to roll away. So let's go ahead and pick that up. Love picking up this Bright Steel Protector. Dropping these barriers is quite good, especially as we've gotten a few extra challengers and we're doing stuff with Fioras. I definitely on board with that. Okay, Unyielding Spirit. A little interesting with the Fiora path, just making it so the unit can't die. Then the -2 cost, making it only be at 6. Not that bad. It's probably worth taking it and not needing a roll. All right, after that, what do we got here? What do we got? And so I don't think we're going to be popping off with the Mariner too often. It's really just going to be if we use a Slipstream. But he is fairly cheap. Otherwise, Eye of the Storm, we're kind of, you know, much more focused in on Fiora plus the Nilah abilities than doing Nilah stuff. And so I don't think I'm super interested in Eye of the Storm. Zap, we're not going to struggle with card advantage, and so Zap can stay away. Yeah, let's just pick up the Mariner. I think the thing that kind of sets me off with the Mariner is we do have the +2 draw at the start of the game, and so it should just be free on the first turn. And so that's probably good enough to want to add in. Then last but not least, Detain, quite good. Just having a catch-all removal spell is something that we're always looking for. Glad to add that in. Not too many rerolls today. Let's jump into battle. So cool, game start. Opponent gets the Noxcria Arena. See how this all plays out. Fleeting Fiora doing fun stuff, you know. Oh man, we got to go and set our loadout when we're getting this Fiora. We got the pool party Fiora and we're already on the beach board. This shit's about to get real. It's about to get real. All right, but yeah, let's hang on to this Fiora. We should get double Fiora on turn 1 here. And then, as I was going to say, we'll see if we can't mulligan into Mariners, which we also picked up.
Let's go again.
So that looks good. Then we make sure this works as expected, right? We get our double Fiora. Pretty fucking sweet. Pretty fucking sweet. Okay, and then I was curious. I was pretty sure the actual Fiora that got the strike was the one that was going to be doing the work. And that's the way it played out. It wasn't like Fiora 1 got the kill and then Fiora 2 got the bonus for seeing the kill. Interesting, the flip doesn't get the cost reduction. I guess the ability is on Fiora and the ability is not on Riposte. It's kind of lame.
Unbound and everlasting.
So this isn't okay. I think that should just stay in our hand though now, right?
You're out of here.
Try me.
The Fiora Riposte, loses fleeting, so it's going to just stay in our hand. Okay. I guess I'd prefer it to be that way, so if our Fiora dies, we would still have access to it.
Is this supposed to be a challenge?
Alright, things should be going pretty easy here now, though.
Easy.
Just gotta wait on this round to end. Gonna do some smashing. Couldn't handle that big old value we got from the double Fioras. Looks good. Oof. Alright. Taking down those victories. Gotta fix that loadout. Doing the important things now. Just gotta say it, remember it, loadout. We're gonna do it. But alright, what do we want to hear? Do we ever actually want Brash Gambler? Right, this card's typically just such garbage, but when it gets the draw 2 and grant them fleeting, I think it's probably just never good enough to actually want. Let's take a roll. Decent stuff within this one. The Tide Dancer, of course, does combo with Nilah, but doesn't do anything with the combat. I'm leaning towards just taking the Emperor's Prosperity, but like as you can see in that last game, we weren't struggling with having enough cards. We didn't have any trouble having things to do, and so I'm not really feeling like we need the card advantage stuff. Just keep rolling. I guess I could get behind more Swiftling Lancers. They're just so expensive. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to stop here. I don't hate Fareth. Putting equipment on Fiora should be kind of nice. Everybody drawing off Double Agent is mess. Slotbot does kind of combo with what we're doing if we get some of the extra card draw stuff going. But, yeah, I think I'd rather just have the equipment. Alright, that looks good. How do we get it? Where's the loadout button? Do we got to get into a combat first? Alright. Got to get into a combat first, I guess. And so, what's here? Stargazer? I don't know what that does. Probably something with healing. Not super interested. Let's go down here and fight for the shop. Both of these are winnable battles. And so, at the round end, loadout. The opponent gets... at the round start, you give the foe's strongest unit 1 attack for each card in our hand. Ooh, getting out the pool party. I wish that you could kind of just default this stuff, right? I paid $10 for the pool party like 100 years ago, and so I'm gonna get my value out of it. All right, gotta hydrate up with the old Gatorade. Gotten fucking child plagued again. It's nonstop. Apparently, now that I've learned in my old age why Warren Buffett spends all of his money on Coke, it's because I'm pretty certain. Does Coke own Gatorade? I'm not certain, but I just get like so sick from the baby so often. Like a brief summary of the past 3 months has been basically.
Isn't this getting old?
Like I got the massive shits. My wife got the massive shits, and then the baby got hand, foot, and mouth, and then I got hand, foot, and mouth, and then I got normal shits after that, and then shortly after normal shits I recovered, and then immediately got it again, and then recovered it, and immediately got it again. And so I'm at like the immediately got it again stage right now. things are fairly okay, but that's why we're out here, rehydrating. And as I was like taking care of the baby last night, I don't know if he's teething or something. He's been kind of waking up in the middle of the night now. And I was carrying him from like the crib downstairs to hang out a little bit, and just fucking blasted coughs right in my face. Like 3 in a row, back to back. Sneeze to the face, sneeze to the face, sneeze to the face. And I was like, motherfucker. Here we go. I can't wait to find out what plague I just got. Little shithead just like putting his germs in my mouth and stuff, and so we'll see. Probably be another 2 weeks before I get a video together after this one, but at least you know why. Just out here. I see why the new regime and the American government wants to get rid of all the vaccines and everything, because I don't need it, right? I've got the little plague bearer just fucking blasting me in the face with disease multiple times a day. And so, we'll get through. We'll make it. Get your vaccines while you're at it. But fucking plague bearers. Alright, let's focus back up on this game. I was a little bit worried about this Arena Kingpin, but we couldn't kill it with our... we couldn't kill it with our... make it rain, and so we kind of needed to get stuff on board a little bit. I would have liked to have just Unyielding Spirited onto Fiora, but then we couldn't put anything else on the board, and we were going to take a chunk of damage. All around fairly awkward at that point, and so... Here, I think this is okay, though, now. Like, even if we get boomed by an auto attack unit here, we'll be able to block it with Fiora and then combo back in. Get this challenger thing off the board. But yeah, this is kind of like the big idea with Fiora, right? We're gonna get Fiora on the board. She's indestructible now. She's been drinking her Gatorades, and so she'll be able to fight through all these combats, and then ideally. We're just gonna start getting these free wins. So drop the single combat in, bright steel, whatever.
This will be quick.
Say if we're gonna spend the mana, we're just gonna use it on the Lancer. I guess he can't attack though, or he's gonna come down and auto attack. All right, let's just pass.
Such unrefined style.
God, these indestructibly Fiora's fucking fun, am I right? Rip. This is good. I'm glad we went this route. I'll take all the baby costs to the face for some of these indestructible Fioras. And so where do we want to go from here? I've been happy enough with the single combats, but we don't need a ton of them, right? I'm kind of interested in the Shield of Durrandi, just to give us another, defensive measure for our Fiora. So I think that's okay. Let's hit up the shop, see if we get a sweet power. Units have evolve. It's probably good. It's good enough to just take. It kind of sucks that Fiora. I guess Fiora does have a skill in Challenger, so that's kind of fine. Looking at this set. Like, redoubled Valor, we're not going to use. Bonuses to Slipstream are always cool, but I think I really just want to focus in on the combat stuff. Don't need to give units Challenger. Durrandi Sculptor's a little interesting, but her skill sucks. Now let's skip these. Hang on to that roll. Alright, so up against Kato, the foe's allies with Overwhelm. Get +3 attack. So yeah, I've been bummed out. I haven't been able to make the videos. Just non-stop sickness all the time. And it's like, not that I can't just stop and make videos when I'm sick like that. It's just, it eats up into your time so much. And I'm just not able to, if I have to take an extra couple hours because I've got the sickness, and that just, unfortunately the making the videos falls a little bit in terms of the importance. Alright, well, this dude's about to get smoked. I don't know what he's doing, but we got a pretty big board here. We hit a portal, our Fiora, along with one of the Windborn Mariners, and so I'd say this will be over in short order.
Precision and grace.
It's like we could make it rain, I guess, but it's not completely irrelevant. With the harpoon on our Mariner.
It's killing time.
10. That gets us to lethal, hooking the Shiraza out of the way.
Dusting off the
Try me.
Got him.
Everything I
Easy peasy. I've been playing a little bit of Constructed too. I think the standard season ends in a couple of days, and so I'm just not messing with it. Like building up from bronze just takes forever to do, and so I don't think we'll be doing that. I've been playing basically Darius Nar and been having a bit of fun with it. It took me a while to figure out I was actually playing the casual queue instead of the ranked queue, because it's been a while to get things sorted, but hopefully we'll get a little bit of that when the next season. It seems like the next season should kick off in about a week or under a week. The people say that like when the battle pass ends, that signifies when the next patch is going to be hitting, and it's kind of time for rotation and stuff, but I'm so far out of the loop I don't entirely know. But here do we want out of the way. The allied buffs are permanent. It is a fleeting. Double casting, it's not that big of a deal. We do get to draw a card if that happens. I'm leaning towards just taking... Maybe we just take Warning Shot. If we get a Plunder, we can activate the Plunder. That's kind of whatever. But the big thing with it being just free, you know, happens quickly. We don't have to have it stuck in our hand. What's this? On the Unyielding Spirit? Deal 8 to a random enemy or the enemy nexus if there is one. I don't need that. Let's just keep stacking in the Mariner to start. We want all the Mariners and we want all the Fioras. Now we get to cut a card, scroll down here to Expensive Land. I don't think we really need Detain. I'm not a huge fan of passing on Detain because I do like having, you know, fairly unconditional removal, right? We will run into a lot of spots to where we can't just say like single combat our Fiora away. So maybe we hang on to it, right? If we're facing down like a 14-14 action, we're really going to want access to that Detain. You can just cut this Laurent Protege, maybe. I don't hate cutting the Darkened Harpoon, although as the battles progress, probably helps to have a little bit of value. All right, up against action. When the opposing landmarks count down, all of his units get +1 attack. So what do we got? There's Fiora. Keep looking for those Mariners. Not this time. Not this time. This game's rigged. And so we got, ooh, Bright Steel turns up. Don't mind if I do. Let's kick off with Fereth. See what happens. I was worried about this kind of thing happening, right? Where the action just comes down and comes in. That's okay. We can take the damage off of it. This is a little sloppy, I guess, but it is what it is. Leave the action at home. Right, none of our units are going to win that combat. Yeah, we should have just played the Bright Steel first. Either put in the barrier down so the damage from action, you know, wouldn't do anything, or we just have the Deathless blocker. I don't really like what we did there. Now we want to go about this now. I'd like to bank up a little bit of mana for an Indestructible. So let's just play the Fishawhack. Let him keep doing whatever it is he's going to do. We're not going to die from these rando damages coming in. And the next turn we'll just go Indestructible. I like to imagine that's enough to just win the game. I don't think he has things like silences, right? It would need to be either like a strike card. LOL. This is one of the things that's kind of hoping for, right? But he would either need a... It would be like quicksand kind of cards. So nothing that affects Indestructible. LOL. Oh, this is awesome. Nothing beats this Indestructible. Play something that attacks, bro. Alright, that's enough, right? That's the GGs.
This will be quick.
Rip. Okay. So what's up? More Fioras are what we're definitely taking. Spell Shield sounds spectacular. And so absolutely great combo there. Up into the next page, what do we got? The real power this time. Summon Husks, I guess, is kind of interesting with Fiora. Yeah. Like, if our game plan is just to play Fiora the first turn every game, getting her stacked up with Husks should be pretty good. So what are these spells chests for Darius Strength? I don't know what Darius Strength does. Maybe it gives plus attack to a unit. I don't know. Sounds like something that we should be into, and so why not? Why not attach +4 attack and overwhelm to a unit? That feels like what a Darius ability should do. All right, though. Mulligan for Fiora. What you got for us? Fiora and a Mariner. Beautiful.
Victory requires a sharp blade.
Yeah, Trifarian's rolling in. Nothing we can really do about that one, but the Fiora should have 6 attack, so we can either hook down one Fiora, which is a bummer, or get into combat with the bigger one. Did both versions of Fiora get the... Is there a thing on board that's doing that? Husks, Evolve thing. Looked like both of our Fioras had Spell Shield. Maybe it's because things are copied.
Let's go again.
Oh shit, I didn't realize we made our Mariner bigger. It's not what I really wanted. Did our units evolve and that's why they're so big?
I've got your back. Everything's easier behind a mask.
Much confusion from Obust. Seems like we must have evolved.
Guess we're doing this the ugly way.
But we're in pretty good shape here, right? We did get the quick attack challenge potential for Fiora. Otherwise, single combat should do some serious work out here.
Let's make this a night to remember.
Easy peasy, as they say.
You're out of here.
Alright, I guess we evolved. I don't know.
As I expected.
What you got? More Fioras? Absolutely. Name of the game right there. So what's up with this? Purchase a champion's star power. Okay. Well, I mean, as immediately just looking at Carve a Path, right? Since it has the +1 starting mana. But there's a legendary one. What's this? When allies attack, summon a random knocks an ally with cost equal to your mana gems. I mean, it's good. I think I'd rather just have the mana. I mean, getting mana and getting rallies sounds pretty sweet if you ask me. So moving into the shop, what's the power? When you play a champion, summon an exact ephemeral copy. It's not bad. I mean, we're just dropping all these Fioras on turn 1. Potentially just like soaking a bad attack or something. Let's just take a roll though. When you draw a card, give allies 1 attack, whatever. Not really what we want, but things are about to wrap up, so we'll just take it. Maybe we should have saved our roll for this epic champion item chest up at the top, but I think we're just getting to the autopilot version of the game, and we need to just slow it down a little bit. But here, nothing combat oriented. I'm going to skip that set. Definitely want the champion item chest though, so we'll battle the desert naturalist. We should be good against these, right? When the foe summons a grumpy rock bear, you give it 2/2, then they summon another one. Or they summon another landmark. Like, we should be pretty strong against this. Fiora is very good at these one-on-one combat kind of scenarios. So, not too worried. Yeah, we got our Mariner up to 5 attack. A little bit bummed about that, but still a strong unit to get on board right here at the start of the game. And our Fiora turns up.
Would you look at this place? I long for a worthy opponent.
What is it for you?
Hey, Hey, which way to spiritual fulfillment?
This, I guess, man, thinking of that Noxan ability, it would be fairly decent with all this stuff, right? To where we're just playing these Mariners and they get the auto attack. Getting that extra additional attacker would be good. It'd be kind of a crappy attacker though, right? Since it's going to be limited to the attacker is going to be limited to your mana gems, and so you're just going to fill out the board with bad units. Is this just lethal yet? It says 37. Okay. Well, that was a challenging battle. I guess we struggled with that one. Get us back to these games to where we're just killing off his units with indestructible Fiora, right? That's what we want to see. All right, so here we'll take the Lancer, champion item chest, definitely taking Fiora. I guess we'll just go with tough. To the healer, cut a card. We do have like 8 copies of the Swiftwing Lancer now. Let's just go ahead and take all of those out, and then up to battle against Samira. And so the player takes 1 extra damage from all sources. We have a pretty high health total right now. I think we should be pretty okay. We should get out in front of this on the first turn of the game and then feel pretty good about it. But we got our Fiora. Got all the Fioras, I guess. Start looking for the Windborn Mariners.
Take the shot or lose the chance.
It's interesting. You can't just detain the turn 1 Samira onto a husk. I guess he'd get the Samira back when we take the husk away with Fiora, but I think that's fine. Right, if, like... Oh no, we're gonna lose all our Fioras, though. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. I guess we're playing on hard mode now. We at least did get saved a little bit by the Nilah ability that draws a bunch of cards. As soon as that happened, it was like, oh fuck, we just punted this so hard. But
I've been around. Let's go again.
we did okay. We survived it. Now we get to make copies of all this stuff. Actually using the actually using the round abilities. Who would have thunk it? Alright, this is pretty easy. We just got the rally off of that attack.
Strike quickly, strike try me.
Need to come up with 4 more damage. Looks like our Fiora down here lost stun somehow. Not sure how that went about, but this one's done. We win. Just we got too much stuff going on. There's no way we're gonna lose this one.
Hey, which way to spiritual fulfillment?
Present the lethal with that guy. He's not doing anything. Let's get our attack in here at the end of the day. Easy peasy. Okay, man. Whew. I was so worried about how hard we punted that with not playing the Fioras, but turns out it wasn't the end of the world. So, all right, good stuff. Not a bad battle whatsoever. Glad we got some of those really fun the Fiora rounds in like that. Is a touch of a bummer at the end, you know, when things just got a little bit too easy. But I think we, you know, navigated that draft well. And came up with a very interesting deck to take through this battle. And so, man, it makes me really wish that the events were all kind of tuned for draft mode, because these things are just so much fun having it set up like this. It's like whenever we go into battle with Nilah and have to play the Nilah deck, I'm just kind of like, yeah, you know, fuck it, whatever. But when we got into this one, right, and we got to like pick the Fiora and find the combos between Fiora and Nilah, and then just kind of evolve into this Fiora based deck, and then finding the cool stuff with the Indestructibles, and knowing that like Indestructible for Fiora and this must attack event is going to be pretty sweet. Like that to me is what would really make Path of Champions fucking replayable forever. And to me, it's just so much more fun than playing the base deck mode. And so, you know, I hope other people agree. I know that Expedition was a wildly unpopular format at the game's launch. You know, just literally nobody wanted to play it, and that's kind of what sent the game on the trajectory of downfall. And you know, now that you don't have to play it in this draft mode, and it kind of harkens more towards a deck builder like Slay the Spire than it does with the just general pre-made deck. Like I hope that people, you know, find interest in it and enjoy it, as that's able to get really fun runs together like this one. And so, good stuff. I had fun with that. Hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. So if everyone enjoyed the video, maybe learned a thing or two along the way. You had a good time watching. This is Bustin' Me. Thank you for being here.